Alright, so I just watched the Gears of War E-Day multiplayer reveal, and boy oh boy do I have mixed feelings about it. Yeah, I've had mixed feelings about Gears of War E-Day for a while now. I've been on record on saying that I'm cautiously optimistic about the game. I'm rooting for it. I'm a huge Gears of War fan. It's one of my favorite games of all time. On this channel, I've just recently replayed every single mainline Gears of War game, so you can check out those videos if you want to get more context about just my love for the game and my takes on it, and it maybe help give more weight for my takes on this multiplayer reveal. But yeah, so there was a lot of good from this multiplayer reveal, and there's a lot of things that I'm just very questionable about. So I got some notes about it that I want to go over. And so for the presentation, they talked about the importance of squads and just the history and lifelong bonds about squads. And that really spoke to me, to be quite honest, because so right now I had to whip out my esports jersey, the Dream Team esports jersey. And so the history behind this is me and the boys back in the Xbox 360 era, we played Gears of War together, Halo 3, Gears of War 2, Halo Reach, Gears of War 3. We were a squad, and we always played these games together, and we called ourselves the Dream Team. And just at one point, one of the boys just ordered all of us esports jerseys, and it was hilarious. It was a hilarious night. Especially Halo Reach, that was peak. We would all go over to one of the guys' houses. We'd all bring our own Xbox 360s, all have our own TVs, and we'd get into a room and we'd just play online all night. And so no split screen. Everyone had to have their own TVs and their own consoles, and it was just so much fun. And I remember when Halo Infinite came out, one of the best parts of Halo Infinite, those first 2 weeks of Halo Infinite was so much fun. And the boys got back together, and then at the end of 2 weeks it got stale, and there's gonna be so many just comparisons to Halo Infinite that this revealed trailer had made me think. So first off, they got into Horde Siege, and Horde Siege. Okay, it seems cool, right? I'm all for new game modes. I'm all for evolutions and moving forward. But so my concern with this mode is that it's almost too complex. One of the best things about Horde and Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3, Gears of War 3 being peak Horde, a lot of I feel like Gears veterans would agree on, is it was simple, right? You could explain the rules so simply. It's defeat all the waves of enemies, and then every 10 they power up. And then Gears of War 3, which is just like defeat all the waves of enemies, every 10 waves they power up. You can also earn upgrades and fortify static fortifications to help you power up. Even when they added fortifications, it was still simple, right? And then with Gears of War 4 and 5, it continued to get more and more complex. Horde Siege seems insanely complex, right? You have 3 squads of 4, and there's like 10 rounds, but throughout it you get side quests, but there's also main missions, and you're still like, I'm looking at the screen, you're still trying to clear the wave, but then there's these missions to get power-ups, and then you can use that money to unlock power-ups and like fortifications, but the map's really big, and I'm like, are you one team or are you 3 teams? Are you competing against each other? Are you working together? What's the point of the 3 separate squads? And there's like bosses that can show up at any time, and that's cool that there's an emphasis that no 2 runs are ever the same, but at the same time it's like, are they going to do a good job explaining the game? I'm going to have to watch other YouTube videos and YouTube creators dive into and just constantly consume YouTube content just to understand the game and the strategies with it. It just seems it seems bloated. It seems like a bloated multiplayer game. And again, it could be cool. It looks fun. It seems like there's a lot of good with it, but it seems like it could be like too ADHD, over the top, like constant, like dope. I don't know. It seems like, I don't know if I get. Maybe I'm just old, and one of the big things is like they are lacking just the traditional Horde mode, and I feel like Horde is such a simple mode when you have Horde in Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3. It's like you can have Horde Siege and Classic Horde. I don't see why you can't have that. And one of the big problems with Horde, ever starting with a Gears of War 4 when they introduced classes, is eventually, like, even though they say no 2 rounds are ever going to be the same, given enough time, there's going to be a meta that forms, right? And one of the biggest issues with that in Gears of War is outside of like the release window, like later on, you try to play the game. If you are the wrong class according to the meta, everyone's going to quit because they don't want to waste their time playing that round. And so like there's all these upgrade paths in Horde Siege and Gears E-Day, which look awesome. You know, if I was in high school and had all this time, it would have been a dream come true. All these unlocks and everything, all these upgrades. And I don't know, as like someone who's an older adult gamer, if I want to go try out this mode, maybe I want to just try the assault class and just work on upgrading that. Well, next thing you know, there's already an assault person on the squad. I'm not supposed, according to the meta, I'm not supposed to be the assault, and then people are gonna quit, right? We have a hard time keeping 5 people in a game of Horde. People quit right at the beginning if you're not in the meta. How are we supposed to like manage 12 people staying connected without quitting? That's my biggest concern with that. And so, yeah, I don't know. Horde Siege seems like a cool addition, and it's something that I welcome, but without sacrificing anything else, just like uncompromising the rest of the game. And yeah, I still think like traditional Horde could have been there in 4 and 5. No classes, just you know, just same like as like the multiplayer. You're playing multiplayer maps, and there's waves of enemies. It'd been nice to have both. Like as Horde gets more and more complex, like with Horde Siege, it'd been nice to also have the traditional one as an option. Again, you have the maps already, but again, I think that the Horde would be cool. Well, the Horde Siege is cool as long as like multiplayer is uncompromised, and it seems that multiplayer is quite compromised, and that's my biggest concern. So the good right now is we're going back to 4v4, which is awesome instead of 5v5. I actually like 4x4 or 4 versus 4, and everyone starts out with the same loadout, symmetrical maps. No upgrades or anything like that. Good. This is great. But there's only going to be 5 multiplayer maps at launch. and it's like that is given Gears of War Judgment energy, right? That only had 4 maps at launch. The 5th one came out very shortly after launch, and that was a huge problem with Judgment. If you're around there, it got stale faster. There was only 4 maps. There's only 5 maps at the launch of E-Day, and also there's only going to be 4 game modes at launch, and it's like that just sounds like Infinite. Halo Infinite had 4 game modes, and I think it had more than 5 maps, right? And Halo Infinite got stale after 2 weeks. It was an amazing 2 weeks. It was so much fun. Then it was just like, okay, where's the content? And this is mirroring that so much. So I'm very concerned about that. I mean, like the gameplay, it looks cool and fun, cinematic and all that. It makes for cool videos. Is it gonna be too twitchy, like and too like modern and twitchy and try to be esportsy? That's how Gears of War 5 was, and as I'm playing Halo Campaign Evolved, that's what they're trying. It seems like that they're getting that modern twitchiness into Halo, and it kind of ruins the experience. So again, I'm pessimistic. I felt that way about the campaign too. It's gonna be too much like that. But again, 5 maps, 4 multiplayer modes. It's like this is gonna be cool, but it's gonna be stale, and they're gonna drip feed more maps and modes over time, which is awesome. But it kind of makes you think that's like from the lessons learned from Halo Infinite. It's like playing multiplayer at the beginning doesn't seem very wise. Like I'm gonna play campaign for sure, but am I gonna spend the money to play for Xbox Online? I mean, honestly, maybe just wait for it to go on sale on Steam later, and then pick up a Steam copy so I can get the free online instead of injecting money into Xbox Live just for like a month. So I don't know. This seems like the multiplayer might just be wise just to wait. Except but then, then you lose out on the initial casualness of Horde Siege when no one knows what they're doing. So you might get more maps and game modes if you wait, but then Horde Siege, a meta is gonna form, and I just don't like playing to the meta, right? I don't want to be doing homework, watching YouTube videos, learn the meta on how to play the game. Maybe that just means the game's not for me. If I was retired and had all this time, or I was full-time YouTube or whatever, and was able to just like play 8 hours a day, this seems like there's a lot of content to be able, with the upgrades and all of that, and the complexity of Horde Siege to keep you entertained. So I think it really depends on what walk of life you're on for that. But again, there's only 4 game modes for Versus. Team Deathmatch, awesome. King of the Hill, great. And then Search and Destroy. They like basically Call of Duty Search and Destroy. I know that's a very popular game mode for Call of Duty. I've never really been the biggest fan of Search and Destroy. But that's basically what that other mode is. And then like Oddball. There's an Oddball game mode with the ring. And again, I'm just thinking Infinite when you were playing that. Again, I don't show if they had the playlist where you could just pick Team Deathmatch playlist. Like, please learn from Infinite that just have that Team Deathmatch or King of the Hill. I think King of the Hill is the most popular Gears of War. It's my favorite Gears of War mode's King of the Hill. But if it's on a rotation, then it's like, oh, I'm playing Team Deathmatch, playing King of the Hill. This is great. I gotta play Oddball. I gotta play Oddball again. I gotta play Oddball again. And then rotating the same 5 maps. I really think it's gonna have that Infinite problem. And so, Again, drip feeding modes and maps. So that really depends on how fast they can do that. Is it going to be months? Is it going to be weeks? Like, are we going to get a new map, a new mode in week 2? That's it. That makes all the difference in the world when it comes to this type of strategy. And Halo Infinite was way too short when it comes to that. Now here's a good flex. We're going some positives. I said this. I have mixed feelings about this. Customizations, pretty much all of them can be unlocked in game, and they did say that there was gonna be some premium ones, like the Metallica one, and just like maybe esports one, or like stuff for like charity or whatever. Cool. Like, I'm not offended by that any means, but all the important ones can be unlocked in game. Awesome. It's weird that this is a flex. You know what's an even weirder flex is they advertise no battle passes, no pay to win. It's like this is a premium feature, no battle passes. It's hilarious that that's where modern gaming's at, but it's good. I'm not going to knock them for that. It's just really funny. That's the state of the industry where they have to flex. That there's no or no forced microtransactions. You can earn it all in game, and there's no battle passes. So it's just, I don't know. It's funny. It's sad that that's where it's at, and so. Yeah, there's going to be an open beta soon in August. I will not be playing the open beta. I do not want to work for free. I used to play like the betas back in the day. I mean, Gears of War 3 beta was a lot of fun, but and I think there was a good unlock for that one, but I don't know. I just want to play like I'm going to play this game eventually, and so I don't know. I just don't want to play a couple weeks. And just know that the game's going to like be changed and better. I don't know. I don't do betas anymore. And right now the state of this game is I'm planning to play the campaign. Maybe I'll play it twice. I'm in no rush to jump into this multiplayer mode. Horde Siege. It looks cool, but it's so far from original Horde. And original Horde was always like playing with the boys, right? And with your own squad. And online has never been the same as playing with a group of friends. So there's really no rush to do that. I mean, I don't have like 12 friends to play with. I'm not even going to be able to get the squad back together. We have kids and stuff now, adult jobs. Like, there's like no way we're going to be playing this game together. So, and that's like me from my perspective. I know there's probably a lot of other people in that same position. And so, like, in general, I don't play multiplayer anymore. So, like, my hype on the versus the multiplayer is very skewed. But Gears is very special to me. And even the multiplayer, even like Gears 5, I've played every multiplayer of Gears, and I do want to check it out. But the whole experience with Infinite and this game only having five maps, 4 modes is really making me think that's like, I don't need to jump into it. I hear Infinite's great now. Like, late Infinite ended up being great. And I just never went back to it because it was sour from the beginning. I feel like many people didn't go back. And so, I don't know, since I'm so excited for the campaign, I just might sit on like the multiplayer for a while and wait till maybe, it goes cheap on Steam and then check it out or whatever. But who knows how big the population's going to be at that point. I don't know. And again, since I'm not that big of a multiplayer, it wouldn't be a big waste if I don't see it. But yeah, I don't know. There used to be 10 maps in Gears of War when they came out, and now we're down to 5. And I don't know. It's because the Horde Siege is going to need these bigger maps. And again, I think that Halo Infinite had that same thing where I don't think it was 5 maps in Infinite. Maybe it was like 7. But I know, like, with the big team battle maps, it sacrificed like the normal multiplayer maps. And if it just had 10 multiplayer maps, maybe a couple more modes, like where's your execution, right? This is Gears of War. How do you not have execution from day one? Yeah, without that, it seems like it's compromised, and so it's like Horde Siege is something I might play a couple times and then move on because there's just no way me in my position is going to be grinding something like that. But that doesn't mean that other people, and that doesn't mean I wouldn't have loved it back in high school, or if I was in a position where I'd be given enough time to do that, especially with my boys. I don't know, just big mixed feelings when it comes to this game. I'm being very cautious with the way Halo Infinite is, and it sucks too because if everyone is in this mindset of like, oh, I'm not going to play multiplayer because there's not enough content, I will wait and I'll play the campaign. I'll move on to other games and then come back when there's more content. If everyone did that, then there won't be a time when there's no content. So it's just like. It sucks. It's like there's got to be enough people to make the sacrifice to play this like multiplayer game with a small amount of content so that way it can grow to have a good amount of content that makes it worth playing and fun. I don't know, guys. That's my take on the Gears of War E-Day versus reveal. Very mixed feelings. Seems fun. Seems a lot of parallels with Halo Infinite, which is making me very cautious going into it. So, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Later.